But when we look at it, it comes out every Thursday, and that's not a but. So this is still happening. I'm Anthony Smith, lead economist here at FreightWaves, and this is Economy Lately. Crystal's there. What up, Crystal? We're doing a show again, and Aaron's holding the camera. We're going to talk about the economy and the things that's happened lately. You know what moves the economy? Consumers. You know what's important to consumers? Jobs. And employment's been a big thing in the economy. And you won't guess what happened. This happened. So, this happened. We got more employment numbers. And you know what? They're still weird. Surprise! Anyway, if you've seen me talk about employment on any of our other shows, you know that I think there's something really weird going on with them. And I've been very skeptical around all the numbers. We gotta look across the board at all the reports. But when we start at initial jobs claims, that shows that we're hitting pandemic lows on a consistent basis. The latest report at the time of this recording shows that there was a report of 489,000 individuals that applied for unemployment benefits. So this is a far ways away from our pre-pandemic numbers of 200,000 to 300,000. And it's also a far cry from our pandemic high of well over 6 million. It's progress, and we're getting progress each and every week, and it's a good thing. Initial jobless claims are great. It comes out every week on Thursday, but if you watch our last episode, you know I have some suspicions around it, and that's fine. It shows where we're going in a general trend. And that's the thing. We can't just look at one measure. We have to look at all the measures for unemployment. When we look at unemployment, we have to look at the initial jobless claims, we have to look at the unemployment rate, we have to look at payrolls, we have to look at quit rates. The ISM even has an employment measure for manufacturing that shows whether or not employment is contracting or expanding. I say all that to say is that we can't get too caught up in one specific report or the details. We have to look at all of them and see where the general trend is. You may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with freight? Well, I'm glad you asked. An employed consumer is a confident consumer. And I know Zach Strickland hates when I talk about consumer confidence.
But Zach isn't here right now and he can't help you.
Where was I? That's right. An employed consumer is a confident consumer, and a confident consumer is a spending consumer. And when those consumers spend, that leads to more freight volumes or more stuff flowing throughout the economy as they make more and more purchases. But it goes further than that. There's this little thing in economics called incentives. You know incentives. The incentives that are at play right now are coming in the form of initial jobs claims, unemployment benefits. And those unemployment benefits are allowing some consumers to stay at home and not return back to the workforce because they're making just as much or maybe a little bit more in some circumstances as what they would when they go back to the workplace. That's going to be an issue when we're looking at more of the economy opening back up and more businesses looking to hire individuals. So the slight edge up to 6.1% from 6% isn't exactly ringing any alarms, but it's something that we should be keeping our eyes on, because as more and more restrictions get lifted, we're going to need more people back at work. That's going to be an issue. So you remember when I said a confident consumer is a spending consumer? That's a thing, and it's going to be a thing for a while, especially within the US, is what we're really good at. We buy stuff. We love buying stuff. It's what the country's built on, consumption. We're great at it. And that's going to only keep continuing to increase as vaccine efforts throughout the US ramp up. We're seeing a lot more people vaccinated, and you know what that means? Things opening up, a lot more consumption throughout the country. But we're not making all that stuff. A lot of that stuff's coming from overseas. We're importing a lot of it. And we're starting to see that that demand is starting to really outpace that supply. And that's gonna mean a little bit of scarcity at the consumer level. That's also gonna lead to higher import prices. And you know who's been paying those increased prices for quite some time? Manufacturers. I'm not gonna go into manufacturing price increases and all that inflation stuff. Well, I'm kind of getting into that inflation stuff, but that was what last episode was. And I'm not gonna jump into that whole rabbit hole right now. I'm in the rabbit hole. All right, so we're in the rabbit hole. We're gonna stay here. What I'm saying is that those increased prices are happening at the manufacturing level, and they're gonna be happening at the consumer level. The rest of the world can't keep up with our vaccine rates right now. And so that means that we're recovering at a faster rate than other people are, and we're also increasing consumption at a faster rate than other countries can produce it. That's an issue, and that's gonna create more shortages, and that's gonna put upward pressure on those prices for those consumers, not just at the manufacturing level, but all the way downstream. And that's what we call inflation. I gotta go. So that's gonna do it for this episode of The Economy Lately. Thank you, bye, just kidding. I gotta thank some people. I gotta thank my best production crew in the game. Crystal, right there. I got Ethan over there, Fraser somewhere, Aaron right here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm out. Bye.